The Legend of the Gold of Babylon, have I a tale to tell to you today. This is the one and only Lupin movie to feature him in his pink jacket that was predominant in Part 3 of Lupin III, the series. It is kind of a shame that this is the only movie to feature him in his pink jacket with only a brief cameo in Green vs. Red. And I can kind of see why. The pink jacket era of Lupin is very, very, very slapstick silly. Let me tell you my tale of woe. You probably have noticed by now, but the footage that I'm showing here is not in English. This was a hard movie to track down. I first tried to see if there was a DVD release of it. The company that had the rights to it was thinking of doing a DVD release, but they decided to cancel that due to the low anime sales. Probably due to torrents. So, what did I do? I went to the torrents. The torrents did have this movie, but there were absolutely no seeders for it, and I would have had to wait for a year for me to see any progress. So you know what I had to do? I had to track this movie down on VHS. But what's really bizarre about this is that this is a VHS copy with Japanese language and English subtitles. I had no idea they even did that back in the day. So I was able to track down the movie. Great. And the NPC was willing to let me borrow his VHS to DVD converter box. I tried 3 attempts to convert this sucker onto DVD, and all 3 of them failed. So I was all like, screw it. I went online, I was able to find this foreign language version of the movie. There, I got the footage. So, was the movie worth it? Our movie starts off with Zenigata and Lupin having a race on top of a giant face. The movie practically runs on Looney Tunes logic, such as this scene. That's some Wile E. Coyote shit right there. Afterwards, Lupin is told by our token girl of this movie, a sassy little granny by the name of Rosetta, of the Legend of the Gold of Babylon, said to be held in the Tower of Babel. However, Lupin is not the only one interested in this gold, as he faces off against the New York Mafia, led by Kowalski and Junior Marciano. So it's a race to see who can get a hold of the gold first. Will Lupin and the gang be able to use all of the tricks of the trade to get to the gold? Or will Marciano and his men use underhanded tactics to get the gold in the end? Though not a bad movie, I do not exaggerate when I say that this movie has a serious case of OCD. Such as one part where Zenigata is pulled away by his commissioner from chasing Lupin to host a policewoman beauty pageant, which goes on for about only 5 minutes until the police chief says, okay, you're back on the case, but you have to take some of the contestants from the beauty pageant, all who are stereotypes of their respective nations, to chase after Lupin. And thus we have Zenigata's Angels. The movie is all over the place. It doesn't know if it wants to be child-friendly and comedic, or if it wants to be dark, gritty, and serious for adults. Plus, the movie comes up with some bizarre concepts, such as Kowalski's weapon of choice being a deadly, venomous fly swatter. How do you even come up with that? It's the first time that I can say that I've ever seen a man being killed by a venomous fly swatter. Because of all this running about, the movie is very scatterbrained and not really focused too much. Most of the time is spent in New York, but they also go, of course, to Babylon because they gotta go to the Tower of Babel. But then they go back to New York because the gold is actually there because of the golden plate that Lupin got a hold of and that he discovered that way. And it gets a little complicated. Overall, the movie is very wacky and silly, but I still enjoyed it for what it is. If you're the type of person that likes movies where you ask yourself, what the hell did I just watch? Then this is one to definitely track down.